Welcome back to Real Conversations in the QC. Before the break, we talked about what America at 250 brings up: progress, perspectives, and the importance of relationships. Now we pick it back up with the focus on community, what real revitalization looks like, what everyday residents can do to strengthen the places they call home, and why investing in people matters just as much as investing in buildings. So through your work in the West End, you've seen firsthand the impact of investing in neighborhoods. What does a thriving community look like to you?
So, of course, everybody thinks of buildings, structures, infrastructure. Even before that, though, for me, it is the relationships. And I keep harping on these relationships because it's the foundation of society, you know, how we relate to each other. And in relationships, how do you relate to yourself, to your God, first and foremost, to your family, to your neighbors, to the business owner down the street, to the mayor, the alderman? We have to have stronger relationships to have strong neighborhoods and strong communities. And to me, that's the foundation of any revitalization, any change, any empowerment, is having the relationships to be proactive rather than being reactive. And so when we're building these communities and building back up our own community, knowing each other, spending time with each other, actually communing with each other to learn each other and understand, okay, when this goes bad, I can go call this person.
Yeah.
I know this person down the street needs this. I have a little bit extra. Let me go help them out. I can go support that business because I know their struggle. I know what they're going through. And so really seeing the people, building the relationships, along with the building of buildings and structures and all these great things.
Yes. So question for everyone. What role do everyday residents play in strengthening the places they call home? That's for anyone.
Okay, I'll start.
Yeah.
The first thing we have to do, we have to be cognizant of our local leaders. They make a huge impact on the resources you get, and they kind of help set the tone for the community. So if you got a community that's thriving, people are happy, jobs are getting revitalization, we're getting buildings, we're getting streets, and we're getting events like the Miss Juneteenth pageant and these different things that bring community together that only strengthen us. And it can start with our local leaders. Make sure you're cognizant. We have elections coming up November 3rd. Make sure you know who's on the ballot. Don't just go in there and say, oh, I like his name is, or whatever, or he has the same political. Do your research. Know who's leading your communities. Be cognizant of who's in those positions.
Yes, I couldn't agree even more.
I just want to say, I think what's so wonderful is that, we as adults, we've had many opportunities to be where we need to be. We know how to do that. But I think for the young people, for the young girls here, it's wonderful to see them because they're growing in the community, and we get to see them make such great progress. And so I think making sure that young people are involved, just like today.
Absolutely.
That they are here and they are vital in making sure that they're being recognized. So I'm really appreciative that they're here. I think that's important.
Yes, yes. So Nia, as Miss Juneteenth of the Quad Cities, you've represented young leadership throughout the Quad Cities. What has this experience taught you about leadership and service?
What it taught me about leadership. It taught me, how to have responsibility. It taught me take charge, do this, do that. It just tells me leadership. That's what's going through my head right now. It's being Miss Juneteenth isn't about wearing a crown and wearing a sash. I want a dance team and I'm a coach and a captain. I see the kids every day. I take leadership. I stand in front of the class, teach them dances. It helps me build my confidence. It helps me push myself forward. It's like, okay, I know if I have a reflection for these kids that I'm, helping them in this type of way, that they'll try to do what I'm doing too. Like they'll take off what I'm doing and they'll do it. That's that leadership. That's, growth. I want to see growth in a lot of kids that's my age. I want to see a lot of growth in kids in the community, doing things like this, doing things in the community like cleanups, just coming together as a community. It's leadership, community, and just growth. We all kids, and that's my age, Miss Junior, Miss Juneteenth, we all need to come together as a community and build leadership all together.
Yes.
And grow.
And Kennedy, what has surprised you so far about serving as Junior Miss Juneteenth, even though you haven't been in your title for quite so long, just a month or so? What has surprised you within that first month?
It surprised me, the popularity. I didn't realize that there was a lot of people like watching, because now I go out in public. I'm at like a grocery store and people are coming up to me. They're like, "Hey, are you Junior Miss Juneteenth?" And I'm like,
I love it.
so, it's very popular, and I didn't realize that many people celebrate Juneteenth, as they should though, because it is our culture and it represents our history.
Yes, yes. And what are you looking forward to?
I'm looking forward to serving my community more and being a positive role model and encouraging other young people to follow their dreams and also help out with their community.
Good. Really, really good. Good. Well, we're very proud of you both.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, question for everyone. What do you think the younger generation needs more from us grown-up leaders today? So we'll start with you guys, and then we'll
I think they need a positive role model. They also need more creativity, and they need a little bit more education because, yeah.
What do you think?
I feel like taking off what she said, we definitely need open ears. We definitely need, leadership out here, and we definitely need like positivity, creativity. We need people to hear us when we're, needing to speak our minds. We need to be heard. When we're speaking about something that's coming up in our minds or whatever, we need someone to be there to listen to what we're saying.
Yeah. Right. And
I was thinking about this too. And one of the things, especially, being a leader in the community, one of the things that I really kind of focus on was making sure that I had energy. So if I am talking to you, you see the energy that I have, and like, oh wow, okay, this is good. I'm happy about this. I think that's important. I think you can be quiet, but that quiet oftentimes doesn't reach you. So if I'm excited about it, or if I'm enthusiastic about something, especially the topic that I'm talking about, you will more than likely make sure that you hear me. So that's important to me, making sure that enthusiasm, and that's vital. That's absolutely vital. So, yeah.
And I guess my thing would be encouragement. Just hearing you young ladies speak and the things that you're doing in the community now, that encourages me, and it makes me work harder to make sure that you have the resources and the things you need to make that trajectory, whether you go to college or a trade school, whatever you choose to go to. I want to make sure anything I can do by setting the example and doing the things and being a positive role model, as you said, that you guys need to see those, and we all do. And I look at you guys as role models because you didn't have to go compete in your pageants or any of these things. You could have sat at home, and if you play video games or whatever young people, that's what we did when I was young. Whatever young people do, you could have sat there and did that, and then went down there, got a piece of barbecue, and went home. But you stepped up, and you're a leader, and I like that about you. It encourages me. It makes me work harder in my community.
yeah.
So we had for our office like 7 interns this summer, I believe, and ranging from seniors in high school all the way to seniors in college. And for me, what really stood out is that it's the relationships. They need to be able to see the good days, the bad days, and how we navigate them. They don't need a sugar-coated reality of, oh, it just magically happens. Like, life does not just magically happen. It has to be, you have to work it. You have to steward it. And when you steward things, when you take care of things, when you nurture the nature of things, that's what produces fruit. And them being able to be around us, to watch how we do things, the openness. We talked about not being like listening, and not just coming and saying, this is how it is, this is how it's always been. no conversation, let's hear them. You know, but sometimes we'll be moving. You know how it gets in work, and you're just like, okay, we gotta get this done. And the kids are like, wait, why this?
Right.
And I'm like, why that? You know, and we'll follow that loop, and by the end of the conversation, the whole program is refined and better because of the connectivity.
Yeah.
You know, it's not just us doing things for the world. It's really trying to reach people where they're at and empower them to become leaders. And there was a question earlier, I can't remember the specific question, but I believe we all have gifts.
Yes.
You know, if you really want to change this world, you have gifts inside you already today that the world needs.
Yeah.
And so how are we cultivating that in them? You know, how are we helping them bring those gifts out and not hindering those gifts to make them fit into a box that fits for us?
Yes.
Are we helping them fit into a world that's built for them?
I also think that we have to be, in a sense, agents of change, us adults, for you guys, because we have to adapt with, you know, America changing at 250 years. It's not like how it was with how to get in front of the youth either.
Right.
So us being those agents of change to better serve you guys is what I'm feeling.
That's a good
Yes, really great. Okay, so one more question. A couple more questions. So when you think about the next 50 years, what gives you the most hope? And this is for anyone.
For 250?
When you think of the next 50 years,
years?
so at 300 years, what would you guys, what gives you the most hope?
I think it's the children.
Yeah, me too.
I do too.
Like,
But yeah, I believe the children are the future.
Yes.
Teach them well and let them lead the
Okay.
way.
That's a song.
just the eyes.
But truly, that's a very inspirational song. So I say it jokingly, but you guys truly are the future, and don't be afraid to step out and go for what it. Like I talk about Barack Obama often. If he had never ran, he would have never won. So make sure you run
Yes.
with whatever your dream is.
And it's like the building of an airplane. I was thinking the other day, I'm like, we can send metal boxes across the sky safely.
Yeah.
You know, and there was a time where somebody thought that was crazy.
Right.
But the Wright brothers or whoever just kept working at it, believing it was possible. Now crazy is normal.
Yeah.
You know, and so sky's the limit for y'all.
Yeah.
Like y'all have to dream big. It's a lot of responsibility that comes with it, but you don't own any of this. You inherit it and then you pass it on.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so if you're gonna be here, leave your mark. You know what I'm saying? That's why y'all give me hope, because our floors, our parents' ceilings were our floors.
Absolutely.
You know, and then our ceilings become y'all's floors. And so it's so on and so on, like the iPhones. Life is a generational process. It's always another generation coming. It's always another generation. So make sure the updates that y'all got, enhancing the space, enhancing the world, and then pass it on.
And don't let life's challenges, because there will be challenges. You will be hit with challenges, as you see right now in today's times that we're in. There will be challenges. Do not let that deter you or stop you from reaching your ultimate goal and your vision of what you see for your generation as we go forth.
Yeah. So we have one more question for everyone, and we're going to go around again, starting with Avery. So complete this sentence. The next 250 years begin with.
Hope.
Change.
Well, can I answer a little longer?
Yes.
Well, I want to go back just real fast. When I worked at North High School, Jasmine was a student there. And so what's interesting is that I've watched her grow all this time. And so for the, when we're talking about moving into 250 years or beyond that, I see it here. It's already happening. So I'm really grateful for that.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
It begins with us. We all have to change a little bit to make the world a better place.
Yes. Beautiful.
More growth.
More growth. I love it. Well, thank you all so much for joining Real Conversations in this much needed yet celebrated topic, Real Conversation. I appreciate you all for your time and your perspectives, and let's celebrate 50 more years.
Yay!
Thank you all.
Salute.
Yes. From strengthening neighborhoods to creating spaces for real listening, to empowering young leaders like Nia and Kennedy, this conversation reminds us that the next 250 years really do begin with us. Thank you for joining us for Real Conversations. We'll see you next week.
Real Conversations in the QC is sponsored by Accentra Credit Union.